Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of CS Cyber. I'm Chad.
I'm Sean.
And today we're continuing our series on House Bill 96, and we're talking specifically around political subdivisions, what they are, who they are, what they mean.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are out there going, hey, is that me? Like, do I have to comply? So hopefully we'll answer that today.
Right. So in episode 1, we kind of introduced what the bill was, why it existed, why it matters. And today we're answering questions of, does it apply to a city?
Yeah, the answer is yes, to specifically a city. So House Bill 96 covers things like counties, townships, villages, school districts, special districts, and there's a list of other public bodies like libraries, essentially if you're receiving public funds.
Okay.
Or moving it around.
So are there any exemptions?
Yeah, there's a municipal corporation exemption. I don't have any specific examples of what that is. But if you have a home rule charter under Section 7 of Ohio's Constitution, I would assume you know who you are at that point. You're exempt from this. So
that was very specific when I saw that in the notes. I'm like, so they'll know who they are for sure.
I'm sure they would. Yes, absolutely. So, why such a broad coverage, though, I guess is probably one of the questions.
I would say really because the risk is the same, right? For cities, probably more so for smaller subdivisions that, still support the public. And I'm thinking like the townships, the villages, things like that.
Yeah, I think, this particular House bill isn't restricted to size. Which we see in a lot of these regulatory items, right? It doesn't, even on the military side, it doesn't matter if you're a small manufacturer or a large manufacturer, it applies to you. So whether you've got 2,002 residents or 200,000, this is for you.
All right. So, but you could take different approaches to that, right? Which I think we're going to get into in other episodes that we do on the House bill.
Right.
So don't be overwhelmed if you're a small township. Like, what am I going to do with this? We'll get into that in later episodes. So kind of what this means for you is if you're part of a county office, a township board, village administrator, what else is there? You've been in government for a long time.
Police departments, fire departments. I mean, all those have, entities that they're attached to, or maybe a regional fire department. Like, we, in this area, we've got the Miami Valley Fire District. They're kind of their own piece. A park district, Five Rivers Metro Parks, is here in our area. That's a political subdivision. And
that's one I didn't even think about, is like the whole like park service that we have in the area. We have a ton of beautiful parks. So
yeah, we do. I mean, in Ohio, we've got state parks, right? And they're obviously included because they're part of a state agency. But if you think about something like Five Rivers is an actual political subdivision that's formed under I know all this because I worked there for 13 years.
Yeah,
but
this is right up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, they were formed under the Ohio Revised Code that allows entities like that to be formed, and that's how they were formed. So, yeah, they will have to comply as well.
Okay, so we're going to get into this later episodes, but how should they start, right? I mean, if you're thinking about, does this apply to me? Yes, it applies to me. What now?
Yeah, so I think first of all, check your charter, and if you believe you're a political subdivision and this is for you, then you're going to want to hang in for episode 3, where we start talking about what an actual program is. But start pulling what you have. Start checking with your IT folks or your contract IT companies, looking at what policies and procedures you may already have, and just start assembling all the material. Yeah, assemble the Avengers.
Right. So you got to start somewhere, right? So that's a great place to start. And like Sean said, we'll get into kind of some more details in later episodes. But do you have anything for today?
Nope. I think that's it. We'll see you on episode 3.
All right. Thanks.